And so now we move on to consent calendar. This is where it will get a little more complicated. So I'm going to ask the city attorney to explain how we're going to do this.
Yes, so in order to keep up with the marvels of modern technology, the Brown Act now requires that all items on the agenda be done by roll call vote if there are members of the council who are participating from outside, as you have tonight. There are two of you participating using teleconference. And the reason for that requirement for a roll call vote is so that everybody in the audience and members of the public can understand how the vote was actually taken, and so the vote can be accurately recorded, because it may be difficult to hear a voice vote. So as a result of that, on the consent calendar, what we've decided to do is take each of those items individually, so that we'll have a roll call vote on each one. And so if there are members of the public who wish to speak on any of those items, if they could let the clerk know, that would be great, so that we know that in advance. And if there are members of the council on the telephone who wish to speak on those items, that would also be helpful to know now, so that the chair of the meeting can take the proper actions to make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. And then, of course, on the conduct of business, those will be taken in order as they usually are, and also with a roll call vote required on those items as well. Does anybody in the audience wish to pull any of the consent calendar items? And it does not appear anyone wishes to speak on those items.
Seeing none, is there anyone in the council who would like to discuss or comment on any items on the consent calendar?
Mr. Chair.
Yes?
So,
Councilmember Marty?
do I specify which one, or do we just start off going into it?
Just indicate which one you'd like to comment on, and then we'll just take them in order one at a time.
Water and wastewater.
So item 7C. Okay, so we don't need to vote to pull it. We're just going to vote on each one of them.
Correct. And when that item comes up, then council members who wish to speak on that item can make their comments.
Okay, any others? Mr. Mayor, Councilmember O'Connell, anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, what I'd like to do is we'll take them in order. What I'd like to do is take items 7A and B together, which is accounts payable and payroll.
Move to approve consent items A and B.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Marty Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Rico Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell. Aye. Vice Mayor Ibarra.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.
Very good. Item 7C, waive second reading and adopt ordinances enacting water and wastewater rates increase to be effective July 1st, 2017, as presented in the notice of proposed increase mailed to all property owners and residences. Councilmember Marty.
So, as people that have been paying attention, the vote was 3-2, and I was on the 2 side. And what I want to be able to discuss briefly here today is asking the council to reconsider their vote, and 2, if they're going to go ahead and proceed with the vote, to go ahead and agree to have a subcommittee, or a study session to discuss the items that I brought up to the council's attention at the last council meeting, of how we could do more with less, how we could look at increasing the rate that the new development pays for their water meters, capacity charges that haven't gone up for years, and how we could look at the billing and accounting and efficiencies of the existing water and sewer services that we provide. So there has to be some efficiency improvements there. And I know it's not going to solve the problem that we have with our old system, but it is something that we need to look into, and just increasing the rates without talking about that is really incredible to me, that that we do something like that without trying to do something better.
So.
Through the chair? Sorry.
Hold on, Irene, I'll call on you and the mayor in a sec. I just want to, so you are asking to have a discussion about efficiencies and also alternative fundings?
Alternative, basically, sorry. So what I'm asking is to have a study session to discuss how we can look at other revenues, how we can look at how to improve the efficiency of our system, how to look at changing the billing practices that we currently have that loses thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. We had a consultant here that basically agreed that we should be charging that monthly capacity wastewater and water charge every month, regardless if somebody turns on their service or not, regardless if somebody has a house for sale for 3 months. That capacity charge is helping the system. It's not just when you use water, it's the availability of the water and paying your part for that service.
Okay. Okay, so, do you have anything down? Irene. Okay, Irene?
Oh, I agree that we can look at different things that we did not look at before. I don't agree that, well, I believe staff has done a fabulous job in doing many more efficiencies than they did before, and I just want it noted that 5 years ago, it was originally going to be a 10% per year raise for the next 5 years. And because of the stuff, and that includes the drought, San Francisco's increased water rates, the San Francisco retrofit, paying for our share of that, all those different things, we still got it down to only 5%. So while I agree with Councilman Medina that there can be efficiencies, I'm sure, and we should look at different billing things that maybe we have never looked at before, we have been efficient. So I just want that noted, and go on from there.
Okay. Mayor Ruane?
Nothing special. Approving the rates tonight is the right thing to do, I believe, and it doesn't preclude us from looking at more efficiencies going forward. I know that the subcommittee spent an awful lot of time, as well as the consultants and staff, and what we've achieved so far, and just at the sanitary sewer overflows has been extraordinary, and I think the people who are paying for those bills need to realize that. It's way easier to pay what amounts to a little bit in the bigger picture than to pay some fines that don't go anywhere into the city to help. So I'm all in favor of approving these rates.
Okay. I personally, I'm not going to change my vote, but I'm open to not necessarily a study session at first, but I would like staff to come forward with answers to council members' questions as far as any efficiencies that we could undertake in billing, and how we can, or how we have attempted and have not been able to take care of those efficiencies. As far as additional funding, I think that's something that we have to address to staff, or give staff some direction on what funding sources or what funding ideas you have in mind before we sit in a study session and throw a bunch of ideas around without any, solid facts or any solid information. So I'm in favor of discussing it further, but until we have some anything more than just ideas, I don't think we should have a study session until we have something we can really discuss.
Through the chair.
Irene?
Marty and I are on the subcommittee for this. I'd like to suggest that he and I get together with staff and toss around some ideas about what we can present to this whole council.
Okay, you faded out on that one. I didn't hear that too well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Marty and I are on that subcommittee, and I'd like he and I, to meet with staff, and we can discuss some ideas about what to present.
Okay.
Through the chair. I would concur that with Councilmember O'Connell that we have the subcommittee. They should then reconvene. They should have from staff the answers to the questions that were asked, effectiveness, efficiencies, other cost-saving mechanisms, and or what we can or have some options if there are other solutions. I believe after the subcommittees met, then they can bring back forward to the council as a whole in a study session or budget time, if that works, as far as their findings.
Correct. And just a reminder that the vote does continue and the rate increase does get approved. It is the maximum rate increase, and that if any efficiencies or any other options come before the council that get approved to reduce that rate, we can do that. Yeah. Okay? Any other discussion?
No.
Okay.
Through the chair, if there's no more discussion.
Mayor Ruane.
Through the chair, if there's no more discussion, I would like to make a motion to approve item 7C on the consent calendar.
Mayor Ruane makes a motion to approve item C.
Do we have to waive the second reading, or?
He's making a motion to waive the second reading.
Well, it's a motion to approve item 7C, which includes the second reading.
That's right.
The ordinance
Right.
and everything.
He's all the way in Washington,
Okay, I
D.C.
second
and
it.
telling us what to do. Okay. Okay, so the motion is to approve item C. Is there a second?
Second, Irene.
Irene seconds. Any further
Yes.
discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Ruane,
Aye.
Councilmember Marty Medina,
No.
Councilmember Rico Medina,
No.
Councilmember O'Connell,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ibarra.
Aye. Okay, moving on to item 7D. There's no discussion. Do I have a motion for approving item D?
Move to approve
moved.
item D.
Councilmember
Move to
Rico
approve item
Medina
D.
motions to approve. Second? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Irene seconds. Any discussion?
Yes.
Roll call?
Councilmember Rico Medina,
Aye.
Councilmember Marty Medina,
No.
Councilmember O'Connell,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ibarra,
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.
Okay, moving on. Item 7E. Motion to approve item 7E, which is to comply with the California Voter Participation Rights Act by conducting 2017 and 19 elections for 3-year council member terms and a 3-year mayoral term in 2017. Motion? Is there a motion? Is there a motion? Is there a motion to approve item E?
I'll make the motion to approve item E.
Councilmember Marty Medina makes a motion to approve item E. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Rico Medina seconds. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Marty Medina,
Aye.
Councilmember Rico Medina,
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell,
No.
Vice Mayor Ibarra,
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.
Okay. Item F, adopt resolution accepting the Huntington Avenue Landscape Improvement Project as complete, authorizing the filing of notice of completion with the San Mateo County Recorder's Office, and authorizing release of the construction contract retention in the amount of $5,558. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Councilmember Irene O'Connell moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Mayor Ruane seconds. Roll call, please.
Councilmember O'Connell,
Aye.
Councilmember Marty Medina,
Aye.
Councilmember Rico Medina,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ibarra,
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.
Very good. That concludes the consent calendar.